Hello, beautiful souls. How you been? How you doing? How you feeling? So today I wanted to speak about a topic that not many people wants to talk about in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual community, and this is the topic of entities. And this is something that in my personal life as a medium and growing up and studying and overcoming and becoming has been huge. And I've seen how many times it affects how a person goes through life, right? When there is entity involvement, it can affect a person in different ways. And yesterday I had an incredible experience that it never happened before. So this is a personal experience that I would like to share. So my son is 4 years old. He's very connected, like most kids are. So he sees beings without a body. He experienced light beings, all these things. So yesterday we were playing and we were playing with the dog. It was getting dark and we were throwing the ball and all these things. And all of a sudden he finds a long stick. He starts going with the stick and he goes on his own. And then he starts getting like away from us. And I noticed some behavior that seemed odd. He's kind of not really engaged. He's with his stick, kind of like looking down and moving the soil around with his stick. And I was like, that's a little bit interesting. Then I called him up because he was getting too further away. And then it just burst into tears. He's crying out of control. And I'm like, okay, what just happened? We're just playing here. What just happened? Okay, I just, of course, I feel something. And I'm like, okay, what is it? What's going on? Then I tell him, and then he tells me, I feel so sad and I don't know why. And that for me, you compare with the feeling that I had was like, of course, there is entity involvement. And of course, he was experiencing an entity going through his energetic field, using his body to experience all those emotions. And I was like, okay. So I held him, I hugged him, and I guided him through processes that I do sometimes with my clients. And not all my clients are aware that I do these processes, but with people that are open for these conversations, I do tell them what's going on, and I do tell them and share with them what entities. Sometimes they could be relatives, and sometimes they're just completely unrelated at times, because we just happen to go to the certain places that have these entities, and because we have a specific frequency that is interesting for this entity, they kind of hop on and start going on, taking a ride on our energetic field. And also for people like me and other mediums that do house clearings and do the levels of services that they do with clients, these entities can follow us home and try to, disturb us and all these things, because just like people, they have consciousness, their consciousness, we're consciousness, and they just have agendas, or they can be very stubborn, like, I don't want to go, all these things. So it's quite normal. And the reason I say many people avoid this conversation is because in spiritual community is very common, this is spiritual bypassing, that we all have to talk about the happy things, the good things, and all the things. But the reality, this is my awareness, remember? Nothing is gospel. This is just my experience. I'm sharing my experience, and I have a lot of experiences with entities and beings without a body, because I was not only affected by my relationship with them for many, many years, but also I went with a deep dive of 15 years studying Spiritism, practicing Spiritism. So it got me a better understanding of what entities really are. So it was a close connection and communication per se, to really understand why we have such a relationship with them. Many of us fear them, and many of us feel disempowered by them. But throughout the years, I have learned that there's no being that has more power than we do, that you do. And when you stand in that frequency, when you stand in that power lovingly, you can speak to them with authority. And there is processes that I have learned, and there's processes that I teach my clients to help them understand what is their part in that. What is their intention with you? Like, why are they with them? And what are possibilities for them to move forward? Because just like we are in the physical, getting experiences, learning and growing and all of this, they're also on the other side without a body. They can have all these other experiences of growth, understanding, and raising their level of consciousness. Many of them just kind of like are so compressed in that way of thinking that they don't have choices. So it's kind of like allowing them to have choices and allowing them to understand that other things are possible to move forward. And if you sounded, you're resonating with this, and this is making sense for you, it's just also for you to claim your awareness and to claim your authority of your energy, because I see it many times. We always think that we want to have this, we want to advance, we want to grow, career, relationship, all the things, and we think that it's just the limiting beliefs. We think that it's only the patterns, we think that it's only the trauma, the wounding that is stopping us from getting that and expanding even more. But many times in my awareness, in my experience, is also entity involvement. They can be so close to your energetic field that they can cause, depending on what dimension of your soul they're kind of located or stationed, they can create difficulties in your financial aspects of your life, in your relationship with others, in your loving relationships, in your love to yourself, in your health, in your physical body. So I see this a lot, and this is just to open the conversation and to bring some awareness to this, because a lot of people are afraid of these topics. A lot of people want to ignore these topics, and they just want to know, they don't want to know, oh, that's too scary and all this, because I heard this throughout my life, and I had these experiences from a early age, and so did my son. And if I didn't have the tools, and if I didn't have the knowing, that would have escalated who knows where. And it happens to a lot of people, and it's about getting in for, having your awareness, opening up your level of consciousness, and gathering that empowering state so that you can also help them and you can also support them. So if this is resonating with you, I'm gonna be opening up an Intuition 101, and I'm gonna be talking briefly about this topic. And I'm also going to support you to empower you, your toolkit to get that connection with source, get that connection with the universe, and understand what it could be psychic interference, because we get that too when we're trying to connect to source, when we're trying to get those messages from that inner guidance. So if this is resonating with you, I'm gonna put all that information below. It's gonna be a free event on March 16, 2024. So if you're interested in that, just look forward for more details. I love you, and have a wonderful, wonderful day, night, wherever you are located in the world.